everyone. Thanks for being patient first and foremost. I'm really sorry I've been away from my craft desk for probably about a month now. I don't know how it happened, but yeah, I've just been really super busy with other things in my life, and yeah, this just kind of took a bit of a back burner, but I am back and I'm here to create a card that's it's just a small square hello card just to say hi, I'm back. Anyway, to business. I have recently purchased these wonderful Die-namics by, these are dynamic dies by My Favourite Things, and I have to say they are amazing. I've got this scallop border die, which I've not used yet. These rolled, Mini Rolled Roses die, which we're going to use in today's card. I've got these buttons and these are really awesome. They do create actual proper looking like buttons. Let me just show you this one. I haven't done anything to it yet, and you can see, look at that indentation. Isn't that really cool? So many ideas with these buttons. Anyway, and last but not least is this flower die. It comes with the petals, the leaf, and the kind of inner bit of the flower, the inside bit of the flower as well. So lots of ideas, but today we're going to focus on this rolled roses die. Okay, I'm doing it on a small square card. This is a 10cm by 10cm card. This is in kind of a medium mid-tone blue. I'm also going to be using some felt. I've seen so many cards with felt embellishments on it recently, and I've just been completely wowed by them. So I'm going to have a go using some myself. I haven't tried this with these dynamic dies, but I'm sure it will cut just fine. This felt is just some I bought, I think, from the local supermarket, from the kids craft section. Okay, so first of all you're going to need your A plate, then followed by your cutting plate. This is your B plate, and you can see mine is really well loved and a bit bent and warped, but it still works. It's not snapped, so I'm going to carry on using it. Then your bit of felt, then the die itself, I'm also going to use a couple of sheets of card just for a shim, because I don't think this is going to be thick enough. It's just a piece of scratch paper, well, scratch card. And then the last plate will be your C plate, and then just run that through. Right, that's slightly too thick, so I'm going to just go with the one piece of paper. Okay, let's see if this has worked. Looks like it. It does just leave that one little bit that you have to snip off, but I just tend to pull it. You can see that's actually meant to be, because it's on the die like that as well, so that's fine. Okay, first what you need to do before we start rolling the rose is just to make sure all of the die cuts have actually cut properly through the felt. I tend to find that any kind of material is much harder to cut than paper or card or chipboard, just because it's more fibrous, but these die cuts certainly do the job. They're brilliant. I love them. Okay, to do the rose, we need to almost turn this inside out. So this tail bit here that's hanging out will actually become the inside of the rose, and this bit here will become the back, the centre of the back. You'll see what I mean in a second when I start to roll. So to do this, you just need, well, I use my pokey tool. You could use a pencil or anything similar. And what you need to do is just start by twisting that end bit, that tail, over, and start to roll it around your pokey tool or your pencil or whatever you're using. Once you've got it started, it's actually a lot easier. The first bit's the fiddly bit, and then you just keep rolling it around. It looks extremely messy. It doesn't look like you're doing it right, you know, but I promise you this is the way, and it really does work. What I find easiest, once I've got it about halfway, I take it off my pokey tool and then just start wrapping it around by pinching the top and the bottom of the rose with my one hand and then working around the rest of that tail of the die cut with the other hand. Okay, and then you get to the end and you'll see there's this little bit here with a very odd end to it. You get the petals and then they kind of stop in this central blob thing. But this isn't meant to be a petal. What this is going to do is going to cover over the centre at the back to give you something to glue everything to hold it in one place at the front like so. So you'll need some fabric glue. I'm just using Wash and Wear glue by Helmar. I actually think that using a hot glue gun on this bit would be a lot easier because it would all dry a lot quicker. This glue apparently takes about 4 hours to dry properly. So then you put the glue in the centre, pop the flap over, look at the flower until you're happy with it, and then what I do is just pop that under something heavy for a couple of hours until it's dry. Okay, so while those flowers are drying I can do the front of the card. So I'm going to be using quite a bit of white embossing on the front of the card. So what I want to do is get my embossing buddy first and just run over the entire front of that card. And what this does, it just removes any excess static or any fingerprints that may have got onto the card, which would attract the embossing powder in much the same way as the Versamark ink. And it doesn't leave you with a very good crisp image, whereas if you do this you just get that stamped embossed image and it looks much better. So I'm just going to ink up my stamp with the Versamark ink. This stamp is by Anita's. I think it is the Scribbly Flower stamp, but I'm not entirely sure. It's quite an old stamp, so it's probably going to be retired by now, but I just thought I wanted to break it out again. That, I think. So I've just done it on that bottom and the left hand edge in a kind of swoop. And what I also want to do is use this Hero Art stamp set, which is called the Essential Messages. And I'm just using this Hello sentiment in the top right hand corner. I've already set that up on my block, and again I'm going to use the Versamark ink to ink it up. I'm just going to stamp it right here on my card and put the white embossing powder over it. You'll notice that I haven't heat set the other stamp yet, this bit of the card. I just tend to do it all at once. So I'm going to heat set it all now. And as long as you're careful, it's okay to do that. You just have to be careful not to touch or smudge any of the unset embossing powder. Okay, next what I want to do is add a bit of interest to these flowers. And to do that I'm going to use this Emboss Writer, which is essentially Versamark ink in a pen form. And I'm just going to use that to create a watercolor effect in some of these petals. And once this is dry, it'll be a really subtle effect. Okay, so you can see that's nearly dry, and what a lovely effect you get with that. It's great. Okay, so once that's completely dry, you can just about see the contrasting colour on the camera there. I promise you in real life it looks lovely too. All we need to do to finish the card off is to adhere these flowers. I've also die cut some of the petals from this Die-namics set, these petals here. I cheated a little bit with the roses. I got too impatient waiting for the resin glue to dry, so I actually sewed them, which is easy enough to do. And I've also cut this out, the scallop die, with a Fisker scallop punch. So I'm just going to put it all together now. I'm just going to adhere this scallop punch straight down to the card. And I'm just placing it just underneath the hello stamp. To adhere these roses down, I'm just going to use some glue dots. So yeah, for these mini rolled roses, if you're going to do them in material or felt or whatever, then I really would recommend getting a glue gun to stick them all together. Because the fabric glue I've got, at least, it took ages to dry and I was just so impatient. Okay, for these leaves I'm just using a little bit of antique stain. And again I'm going to adhere these down using a glue dot. Once I'm happy with the placing of the flowers, I can just press them into place and hopefully they won't go anywhere. I'm just adding faux stitching line using my white gel pen just to finish up this card. This ties in that border with the lines of the flower. So that's today's card. I hope you enjoyed it and I will see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye!